Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode with me, Jerry Wayne. I'm super happy to have you all here once again. It is a beautiful day here in Michigan, and I hope that you guys are having a fantastic time wherever you are, in any part in the world. I appreciate that you guys are here. I love that. You guys tell me where you're following from, and it's just fantastic. I got people from all over this country. I got people all over the world, even somebody from South Korea. That's awesome. I got people from Italy, and it seems that no matter how much this propaganda and the news really pushes, or the deep state, or whatever you want to say, I feel as if that more and more people are coming together because of it, and it's giving them an opposite effect. Like, I know that it seems like everybody's really far and in between, like that's what they wanted to portray, but I tell you what, I walk outside my door and I don't see it in my physical world, and in my vision and my scope, people have been outstanding with me. Now, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be somebody out there that wants to have the altercation, or that is really stuck in this the way of this propaganda setting, but I don't see that many really. I feel like there's a small amount of people that just have like a big megaphone and make it seem like there's a lot more, because I just don't see them personally. But I really appreciate you guys being here and supporting me, and actually I know a lot of you come here because you want to get information, and I appreciate that, and I want to give you the most information I possibly can, and the most accurate information I possibly can. So us as a team working together, guys, I think that we're unstoppable. So just let's keep doing this. I'm very excited. So guys, I've got a ton of stuff written down here that has transpired in just this past week. And I believe that our country has taken a turn for the worse. I'm sure a lot of you, if you're watching, you probably already know this stuff. Not the stuff that I've written down, but know that we are not looking too good right now, and everybody's really stuck on their screens. They're stuck on they're playing video games, or on TikTok or Twitter or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some bullets that really stood out to me this past week, and I think it's very important. And feel free to give me your take on it. I'm gonna give you my opinion on it, but you know what? My opinion is not the be all end all, and let me know what you guys think about this as well. We're gonna jump around back and forth, but first off. Apparently, now I can't say the word on here because my First Amendment right is being attacked. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this little gesture. I think that you guys know what that is. So apparently, they're giving you $100 to get the whole hokey pokey there. Now, $100. And now at first it was like fries and then a burger. And they keep spicing it up. A chance to win the lottery. So the way I see it is that if you hold on long enough, you might just get a new car out of it. Just saying. Now, I'm not telling people to go out there to get it or whatever, but that just seems to be what's fitting the bill here. The longer it takes, the more incentives they're going to give. And they're actually using our money for an incentive. I don't see how that works there. How are you giving people $100 to get something? Like, you're paying people just to do something of their own freedoms? That makes absolutely no sense to me, and I don't think that's money well spent. I don't think I don't think this is a surprise to anybody out there that I am really, really not a fan of what our government is doing. In no way, shape, or form. I am very upset with it. And now we need you as citizens, if you leave the country, if you want to go on vacation or something, and let's say you don't want to play these shenanigans with this whole, I don't know what words I'm allowed to use or whatever, this whole sickness that's going around the world, right? If you want to come back in, you have to take a test. And if your test is positive, well, you have got to wait until you become negative. At the same time, in Mexico, our border is open. And people are not getting tested on the way in. Not to mention, now mind you, this has come from about two different sources of mine. So take this with speculation. If I am never 100% for sure with something, I'll always tell you guys to speculate with it or to do your own research. But from what I've seen, is that these immigrants, once they come in, they are given a piece of paper and they're told to show up to court within 60 days. There is no tracking device on them. There is no way to reach them. They're just told, be free in America for 60 days, and we're just going to trust that you're going to show back up, and we're going to do this right. If that's not a red flag to you, I don't know what is. This is straight from the Biden administration that we knew was going to happen before he got into office. We all said it. This was going to happen, and lo and behold, our country is being overran by immigrants, illegal immigrants. I don't care if you're an immigrant. That's fine. You want to do it the right way? fine in my book. I don't care. But these are illegal immigrants, and I'm going to tell you right now, they are a threat to our nation, and they should not be looked at as civilians. Nope, they are a threat. So, Heineken. I just saw a Heineken commercial that was straight up propaganda. I don't know if you guys seen this commercial or not yet. I wish I'm going to be learning all this tech stuff so I can actually start bringing these videos to you guys so you can all see them. So just bear with me because I went from construction to YouTube, and it's like a huge jump for me, and I've never done computers. Like, guys, little side note, I was born in 1989, and when I was in school, computers weren't like that big of a thing, and the internet was like really just starting to come to be and all that stuff. And I took a typing class when I was in 6th grade, and then I took another typing class in 9th grade, and that was it. That is my experience with computers. So I can type like 60 words a minute, but I can't open up word processing. I don't know where it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little exaggerating there, but you catch my drift. This isn't really my field of expertise. But yeah, guys, I don't know if you saw this commercial or not yet, but it was Heineken. And Heineken had this commercial where a bunch of old people were out going off and dancing and having a good time and stuff, right? And towards the end of the commercial, they're trying to say, like, if you want to have a good time like this, I guess you have to get the whole hokey pokey. I'm going to call it hokey pokey. I like that. You guys know what it means. I know you know what it means. And I'm just going to keep that. It's a hokey pokey. All right, so I'm not a big fan, and I will no longer be drinking that beer because what's coming down with our country, guys, is that we're going to have to choose something to sacrifice. Now, I know it's like, okay, it's just beer, right? What are you really doing here? But if everybody were to get on board with that and start just banning these things that don't agree with their stances, we could make a huge difference without having to use violence. You know, if we send a message, that's what like this BLM push and stuff did. They ended up saying, hey, we don't like the way you guys are doing this thing. And then the money stopped coming and they changed the way they're doing it. So they're like, and not to mention, I believe that these institutions are actually implying this even before this stuff started to happen. So we're not really as independent as a lot of us would like to think to be. Think about this. All of our goods, I can't say all, the majority of our goods come from other countries. That's not independent. We need to be independent people relying on ourselves and our neighbors, where we have our little community there. This stuff is going to come to a head. I don't know when, but it's going to come to a head. And when this economy takes this hit, we're going to be all that's left that we can rely on each other. I'm gonna get into that in a deeper note on a later video because it's very important, and we are going down a very, very dangerous road. And I want to be able to help you guys stay on top of that stuff. So that'll probably be my next video. So stay tuned for that one, all right? I also hope you guys are ready to go back to school because mask mandates are on their way. Now, depending on which state that you're going to, that your kids reside in, but all summer, we've had no mask, where people went on vacation, everybody had a good time. Now, all of a sudden, we have to have masks again, and we need to suffocate your children in schools. That seems logical, right? And it seems like nobody wants to actually look deep into this stuff. Everybody wants to follow the narrative, and that's extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. If people just want to follow the narrative, you're not being a free-minded individual. And that's what we are. We're a nation of independence. So you need to use the brain, your mind that God gave you, or whatever religion you believe, or even if you don't believe in a religion, you yourself is the most important entity. If you are not thinking critically and observing things that you are perceiving in your best possible way, then you're not living by your own means. And again, if people are afraid to speak out, like right now, if you're afraid to say something on Facebook or Twitter or even at your job, that is oppression within itself. To not be able to speak what you believe is to not be able to transpire what you're meant to be with this existence. So it's very dangerous to suppress yourself. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, do not apologize for what you say. And when you say it, mean it. Now, later on, if you feel like, hey man, I didn't really mean to say that, and I actually thought about it, and that's perfectly fine, guys. But if you really thought about something and it's part of your morals, do not feel obligated not to say it. Don't let these people, anybody in the world, stop you from saying what you actually believe in, guys. Because it is the most important thing to do in the world right now is to speak your mind and don't be afraid about it, because they're driving fear into the society, into America. At least they're trying to. They're trying to drive fear into it, and people want to just go with these social norms and their social herds of people, and they don't want to be outcasts of it. But what does it matter if you're an outcast of anything if you're going towards the truth? So just stick with the truth. Do your own research on this stuff. Figure it out, because we have a responsibility. We all have these things on our right in your pocket all the time. You have information at your fingertips all day. Use that to your ability. And I think that a lot of people just are not doing that. I'm sure a lot of you guys that are actually tons of my followers are all about it. You guys are all about researching and figuring out all types of stuff. A lot of you actually send me some really good stuff, and I appreciate it. So let me get back on this chart, guys. I know I keep getting all going off these channels, but this is tangents. Yeah, tangents. But this stuff is really important. Let's see. I told you about the illegal immigrants, which is awesome. Mike Lindell on the August 10th, actually. On August 10th, all the way to, where are we at here? All the way to the 12th. So 72 hours straight. You guys should write this down, okay? On frankspeech.com. What he says, not my words, these are his. He says that he has definitive proof. Now I'm paraphrasing here. He has definitive evidence of election fraud, and he's going to show it for 72 hours straight so the whole world can see it. But at the same time, apparently they're running this our government's going to be running this 5G network test emergency broadcasting system on the I think it's the 12th as well, 11th or 12th, I forget. But during the same time as this, I don't think that's really a coincidence personally, but what really is, it's like we're living in a twilight zone now, because I could come out here and say the most outlandish, crazy thing, and I'm pretty sure you guys would be like, that might be a thing, because it's 2021 now, and aliens apparently real, and it's just, and there's like reptilians and all types of crazy stuff, right? It's like all the conspiracy theorists are just, they're all walking out loud like, yeah, I told you. Like it's all the conspiracies seem to be like more and more evidence that are coming out about them. It's crazy. It's crazy times we're living in. Let's see. I don't know if you guys, this isn't super important, but it's funny. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Joe Biden was sitting, he was like doing an interview or something where he was just talking, just like how I'm doing now with the camera. And somebody came in with like a little pad of paper, and they were like, here, like, hold this. And he went to look at it, and it says, you have something on your chin. He goes and grabs it, looks at it, and then eats it. This is the president of the United States, and he just ate chin food on TV. It's like, mind you, like, do whatever you want. You're at home, like, you pick your nose and eat it. I don't really care. But look, you're representing Americans here. You're representing, or you're supposed to be representing the vast majority of people in this country, and you've got to hold yourself better than that. And this is aside from being a babbling baboon. And another thing on that, guys, this isn't funny anymore. This is dangerous. This is very, very dangerous. And I know a lot of people are waiting for Trump to come and do something, which is great. I hope Trump comes in riding on a white horse with an American flag and an AR-14 and just ready to take everything on. I hope that. But the thing is, guys, I cannot, in my heart, put my freedom in somebody else's hands. I just can't do it. So I'm taking precautions on what's to come to where I can take care of myself, my family, and actually contribute to what my country is going through as well. So I think the faster that the vast majority of people get on that train, not for me, but for your own personal self, that when we start getting on that, we're going to see a big difference change. Because if they start to close us down, which, by the way, under no circumstances can we be closed down again. Absolutely not. That is not okay. If you call yourself a patriot, absolutely not. That is not okay. We are not letting that happen. So what the thing is, like, all this stuff is like by design. They're gonna try to, this is a later video, but little sneak peek. They're trying to crush our economy, and they want to do it on purpose. But at the same time, for us, for patriots, for American civilians, for our freedom to transpire, it is a very complex situation. And I actually, I'll say this on a later video, but our economy needs to collapse for that to happen. So make sure that you guys subscribe for that, because it's going to, I've dove very, very deep into this, and I really care a lot about our country. I know it's not the thing that everybody wants to hear, but that's regardless of whether you want it or not, that is where we are going. So later video, we'll talk about that. So let's see. Okay, guys, big news here. Big. Joe Biden has warned about a cyber attack. Not only did he warn about a cyber attack, but he has warned about a shooting war with a major power. So a major power would be somebody like Russia, China. That's pretty much it. I'm sure there's other ones there, but like to compete with the United States, I don't really see a lot out there that can really do that. But so that's not good at all, obviously. And I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but a lot of our Navy is actually over by Taiwan right now. So maybe that's what he's talking about, but I don't know. But the thing is that the thing that's really scary here is the attack with the cyber attack. Now, I've warned people about this before on my Facebook and stuff, which, by the way, everybody, if you're on my Facebook, I've been banned. So I don't know for how long. They're not really telling me. They don't like the things that I'm sharing there. So, yeah. But if you get banned, I mean, that means you're doing something right? Where was I going with this? So this cyber attack, I told people about this before. And this is going to be used as a catalyst to usher in cryptocurrency. I've called this a long time ago, and I'm still calling it now. This will happen. And there's also going to be this is a bold prediction here. I just collect a lot of different information. I just try to make a prediction with a lot of the information I actually get. And I do believe there's going to be something that's it's called a Black Swan event. And it's where a lot of different things come into fruition at the same time. So, like, let me give you an example. Let's say that we get a cyber attack. Not good. And then let's say they attack our oil lines again. Let's say all of our oil lines are just shut down in the United States. Big deal. Okay? Then, let's say that cyber attack also does attacks banks. Well, that's a liquidity crisis. So we're not going to be able to get money out of the ATM. At the same time, what if... Now, these are all what ifs, okay? At the same time, what if these... At the same time, the USDA, what if they're only supposed to be doing this to help them out until, was it August, September? To the September 30th. So, in September 30th, that's going to go away. Now, what if there's nothing else in place there? Now, I don't want to get you guys worried for all this stuff, but that's three things. It's a housing market crisis, that's a fuel shortage, and as well, it's a liquidity crisis. That would create complete and utter chaos across this entire nation. Now, I don't want to scare you guys or anything, but I think that we should be at least preparing for this. And again, I'll talk about that on the next episode, because there are ways to actually get through this. And it actually, I hate to admit this, but it's actually financially driven. And I want to let you guys know how you can capitalize on these crazy events that are going to transpire. But I'm not saying that for sure they're going to transpire, but look what happened in 2020. Things that happen in 2020, that's not just over. It's not a chapter and then it's just going to be done. There is major backlash that's going to come from these events that we have had come into fruition these last 18 months. So just keep your head on a swivel. There's people looking for things going on all the time. But just remember this. We are all Americans. And if a crisis were to happen, sending positive energy to people, I know it sounds silly, guys, it makes a world of difference. And I know some people are going to be scared and worried, but I tell you what, a helping hand here and there, that's what makes this country great. It's because we don't care what color you are. We don't care what your sexual orientation is. We don't care what your original nationality is, because we're all human beings. This is why the world doesn't want us to succeed. They don't want to succeed because we can see right through these filters and into each other's souls. And America, through crisis time and time again, we have pulled through to show the world just exactly what we're made of. During the Great Depression, we had to, in World War II, right? We came out and we made stuff work. We made stuff happen. And it's just, my grandma and grandfather, they were a part of that generation. I've heard so many stories and just remarkable stories, and it really makes me want to keep pushing this, guys. But I'm also going to, the next video as well, guys, this revolution that everybody thinks it's going to happen and pop off and stuff like that, I gotta be devil's advocate with you guys. It's not, I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't think that someone is going to come, say it's a superpower, is going to come head to head with the largest army that has ever been constructed under the eye of God. I just don't see it happening. They're smarter than that. They're going around certain ways. They're taking over our societal trajectory. Okay, so the way our society is moving, they have taken that over, and they're actually leading our society right now. It's very dangerous, and this whole revolution, and this attack on the United States, is extremely complex, and I'm going to break that down in the next video, guys. Let's see, one other thing. Chuck Schumer indicated that he wanted President Biden to call an act of emergency. Now, by doing this and calling an act of emergency, that gives him a certain amount of powers. And he might even be able to just go ahead and start pushing, doing the hokey pokey to everybody. I don't know if that's true or not, so just do your own research on there. But the look on his face, his little eyebrows going like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Not a fan of it. Go ahead and look at that video, guys. It's a Chuck Schumer, and then call a climate emergency. I'm sure it'll pop right up. But that definitely made some hair stand up in the back of my neck. But I do believe we are going to see a Black Swan event. I do believe this is going to hit the fans sooner or later. And I think that it'd be wise for everybody to get food, water, ammo, supplies. And I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm trying to just make sure that we are prepared. Now, I don't think this is going to happen like tomorrow or the next day or anything like that. But I think something may happen. It just helps to get a few things to decide. Also, not a fan of cash, guys. I'm going to tell you this all the time. Do not hold cash. I have to say this disclaimer, not financial advice, but this is the advice I give to my own mother. Do not hold cash. Put it in different assets. Gold, silver. There are cryptocurrencies out there that are going to be here for a very long time, and they're going to make quite a bit of money. I know it's nerve-wracking, and I tell you what, guys, all this news and propaganda that we see, that doesn't stop just on politics. They do the same thing for your stocks and finances, and it's all BS. I think the last name is Diamond. JP Morgan. What they said about 5 years ago, they said if any of their employees buy Bitcoin, they will be fired. Now JP Morgan is offering Bitcoin to their customers. Now they're probably going to charge them a surplus to put it in their 401k or the Roth IRA, but that just means that JP Morgan's been buying Bitcoin this entire time. Guys, this cryptocurrency is being institutionalized. It is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Now, mind you, 99% of cryptos are probably going to go somewhere. But that's why I've done my research and I figured out which ones we're actually going to be are going to be around, or at least the safest bets are the ones that are going to be around. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. Actually, let me go sign off with this real quick, guys. I can't express enough how much it's important to spread positive energy. Try to look at yourself at how other people are looking at you. Come out with them with a smile on your face. Open a door up for somebody. Help an old lady put some groceries in her trunk. You know, just a little smile, like, hey, I like your bracelet, whatever. It just imagine how that would feel to you. Walking down the street and someone just gives you a random compliment and they didn't want anything out of it. You know, you're not trying to hit on somebody or whatever. Just that compliment just lifts people up. And the times that we're going through right now are just really rough and people are really down, or some people are just completely ignorant and they're not paying attention at all. But I always try to make someone smile at least once a day, and it puts a smile on my face all the time. So spread some positivity, guys, and it'll pay dividends. I promise you that. So, guys, I'm going to sign off of here. I love you a lot. I'll catch you on the next one, all right? Have a great day.